Good morning, people. Saturday morning, about 8 a.m. I got up early this morning. I'm so used to getting up early that I can't hardly sleep late. I was up at like 4:30. And, of course, reading the news articles, watching some videos. One thing I want to address is I've said some angry things recently on YouTube. And I get comments of people who obviously disagree with me and don't think the way that I do. I want to clarify a little bit why nationalists like me think the way we do. And I'm going to start with the basis of it, for me, is finances, money. The United States for a long time has allowed, since like 1911, has allowed the Federal Reserve to print our money and loan it to us, and then we pay it back with interest. No one agrees with that. There isn't a single human being in the whole United States that thinks that that is a good idea, unless they are motivated by money, unless they are financially benefiting from it. That's the only reason it still exists. The Federal Reserve only exists because there are too many people at the top benefiting from them printing money, worthless money, and loaning it to us, and we paying it back with interest. So if we keep doing this, and we're going deeper and deeper in debt, the United States is so drastically in debt, this can't go on forever, and I know everyone talks about this, but this is what my main concern, this is the basis of nationalism, is we will go broke eventually. Even if we can hold out another 20 years, I mean, what are we going to do? Eventually we're going to have to file bankruptcy. And like now, if someone in power, in authority in the White House or in Washington even mentions bankruptcy to, let's say, CNN or MSNBC or publicly, they are ridiculed. They are ridiculed and called idiots and dishonorable. Well, what else are you going to do? We are going to get to the point, if we don't cut spending, at some point where we can't pay our debts. And it will cause us to go bankrupt. Well, so that is the basis of making serious changes to the whale-sized government we have. We have this, I don't think that the average person realizes how huge our government is. It is massive. It is bloated. There are millions of government jobs that are worthless. And I know when you take those jobs away, it's going to create other problems, but we have to solve the issue no matter what the cost. It has to be done. My problem with immigration is most of our immigration is coming from countries where they don't have it as good as we do. My concern is if we become overrun with people from countries that don't have it as good as we do, and if they ever become the majority, or they get too many of them, how are we going to keep doing good if they didn't do good in their country? The argument against that would be, well, they're just the few lone people that they would vote for the right policies, but the rest won't. I have concerns about that. I don't see any evidence of that being true. If we overrun ourselves with people with bad mindsets and making poor voting decisions, we will become a country that has bad policy. This is dangerous. I am against immigration. I mean, maybe not totally, but it just needs to be so drastically cut. It is not helping us. These immigrants are not making us money. I feel as sorry for them as the next person. I want to help people like everyone else, but this is not the way to do it. Virtue signaling and saying that we need to help these people and let them into the country is harming them and us. I hope people that don't agree with me can follow along on my way of thinking. And on nationalism, why would we want to pay Japan or China a 35% tariff or a 15% tariff when they don't have to pay to ship it here? Why would we do that? It doesn't make sense economically for us. Another thing is this doesn't get brought up much, but why are we allowing foreign governments like China to buy up massive properties and businesses in the United States? Why would we sell our infrastructure to foreigners? We even sell roads, toll roads, to foreigners. Why would we do that? That's like you owning a farm and selling the barn to your neighbor, or your smokehouse, or your basement. Why would you do that? It's bad policy. People, I am not a hate monger. I'm not a bigot against people, but I want to protect our country so it can be here for our children and our grandchildren, and we can help some people. Let's come up with programs to help them where they're at, or the few we can allow here. We can't make a difference in the world. There is billions of people who need help. The few million, the million that we allow in a year, yeah, that's helping a few, but what about the rest of them? So who's more worthy? Why are these million worthy to come here and create more problems for us when there's still a billion in their country that need help? It's not using common sense. Virtue signaling is the biggest, most detrimental mindset of this country right now, because it does not allow you to think rationally and use reason and evidence. It makes you focus on your feelings. And I do apologize for some of my rage videos. I get so angry that I literally want a war, I want to fight, and I want to make a difference. You know, I'm willing to die. No, I have no problem with that. All through history, thousands, millions of people have died for their countries, you know. I mean, the older you get, you realize your life is just a blurb in the universe. It's just a short span. So you're going to have to die sometime. But I don't want violence. I just don't understand why we can't be logical and use reason and evidence and do the necessary things. And how people can go to Washington, D.C. when they have successfully run their own finances, their own homes and lives. They go to D.C. and they go against everything they would do in their own life. It has to be motivated by money. We have to make fundamental changes to our country, and it won't be easy, and it is not going to be cheap. It is going to hurt people financially. But there's no other way to bring change that will secure a future for our children and ourselves. If we continue down the road of debt and mass immigration, we are going to destroy our country eventually, even if it's 50 or 100 years down the road. The numbers are there, the evidence is there, if people care to research it. So I just want to, I welcome comments. A lot of people disagree with me. I hope it helps you fundamentally understand where I'm coming from. The realistic dangers I see in continuing the way the country is going, and I don't understand why so many elitists at the top support such damaging policies that hurt us financially in the long run. You know, what is it good to have Obamacare now to help a few million people who are poor if we're going to run out of money down the road and be able to help no one? It has to become affordable for people. We're not going to have the money to keep borrowing. Won't be able to pay it back. We have to do something different. And nationalism is the answer, but it can be a broad term, and there's a lot of things that come out of that, and interpretation of it. You know, it will have to be interpreted correctly. And not all my views are correct, but something has to be done. Don't be satisfied with the status quo. Peace.